I guess it's a comfort and kind of a home feeling.
Satisfying.
Integrity.
Fantastic.
Energy, I guess.
Solitude.
Awe-inspiring.
Oh, fantastic.
I think there is one word to summarize it. It's a conglomeration of many things.
Very relaxing, wonderful place to be.
Well, I find it's the Helen Schuler Centre itself is very international. We get people from all over the world. Even this afternoon, someone from Australia. It was just amazing.
Myself, there was no family here, but the Nature Centre staff and volunteers became my family. The River Valley became my home, and it was a very, very special place.
To me, it's roots. It's who we really came from, what we really are, and it just for me, it's sort of a centering. Yeah.
Well, I can't say it in one word, but to me, it's home away from home.
It is a great legacy.
A class act.
It was the dream of Helen, and by that time Helen had died. And I didn't know Helen well, but I knew her briefly, and I know that was her dream, and I saw that dream fulfilled, and I was happy about that.
Helen Schuler was born in 1931 and raised in Maple Creek, Saskatchewan. She was the daughter of Steve and Marjorie Mann, ranchers and local naturalists in the Skull Creek area near Cypress Hills, Saskatchewan. Helen completed a degree in nursing in Saskatoon. She was married to Raymond Schuler and was the loving mother of 3 children, Michelle, Marina, and Thomas.
She was a lot of fun. She liked to have a good time, liked to tease people. If there was a family reunion, if there was a water fight, if Mom didn't start it, she was in the middle of it.
We ended up, for some reason, camping a lot in the rain. And so my parents developed this really neat system. We had 2 tents for the kids, one for us and one for the adults. They would face off against each other with a canopy, a big tarp at the top of them. We had a big enamel can that we would use as a commode. One evening we were sitting there in our canopy watching the rain fall down. My mother was sitting there on her lawn chair with the commode underneath her saying, "Yes, here I am in the woods, the canopy over me, a canopy under me."
In 1960, Helen Schuler moved to Lethbridge. She became known as a local environmentalist and served as the Lethbridge Naturalist Society's first president. She focused most of her concerns on a provincial level and was part of a group responsible for establishing the Federation of Alberta Naturalists. Helen utilized her love for the outdoors and began advocating for environmental education in the public school system.
A woman who was teaching environmental education at the college, who wanted to get her students involved as part of their curriculum, working with school children on interpretation. And she got permission to try this program with one of the schools, with George McKillop. And she asked a couple of us from the naturalists to help, and that was Helen Schuler and myself.
It would be key naturalists like Elizabeth Hall and Helen Schuler, among a handful of others, that would be instrumental in establishing environmental education programming in local schools. These programs became so successful that the City of Lethbridge and local naturalists began exploring the potential of opening a permanent center, where people could be educated about nature through programs led by naturalists, and from there be allowed to continue their exploration in a nature reserve setting.
Helen and I found that the whole idea just grabbed us. We thought this was marvelous. You take the kids from that inside the building where they've been learning everything on blackboards and on paper, and you take them out and you show them the real thing outdoors and what it really means. And,
Unfortunately, Helen Schuler would never see her dreams come to fruition. She passed away on October 9, 1977, at the age of 46 from cancer. Her contributions and concern for sharing the natural environment was honored in the naming of the Nature Center. Helen Schuler's legacy will forever be a part of the Nature Center's continued success.
I guess just someone who really loved nature and wanted to spread that around. And just to say there's room for some wild in the world. Even with all that people have to live, but there's still room for wildlife and for some wild, and people need it in their souls for it to be there.
The Helen Schuler Coulee Centre officially opened its doors for the first time on June 6, 1982. In its first year of operation, over 8,500 people visited the Nature Centre and took part in the programs. By 1984, more space was needed and an additional programming room and offices were added on. The Nature Centre has changed and grown with the Lethbridge community and now receives up to 30,000 visitors per year.
It's an urban nature center, so we are located in the middle of the city of Lethbridge down in the river valley, and we're situated on a 200-acre land nature reserve.